Hello there. Today's a very exciting day for me because this has arrived. Warhammer Quest Silver Tower. Now, Warhammer Quest was the successor to Hero Quest, and then there was Advanced Hero Quest. Oh, and there was one in the middle. I can't remember what it was called. And then Warhammer Quest came out, which I have got the original round here, and it sells for a stupid amount of money because people love it. These days, people would call it a dungeon crawler or dungeon bash or grind game. It's basically, you have a set of adventurers, you set off into a dungeon and you try to reach the final room, fight the boss, and the monsters are randomly generated. And with the original quest, you had monster tables which you rolled on, and it got very, very expensive very quick past the first couple of levels, because you had to buy literally hundreds of metal figures as they were at the time. I don't really do anything in metal anymore, but at the time it was a very expensive thing to do if you wanted to play the game completely, because it had a role-playing section as well in between dungeons, and it literally had everything that I want from a dungeon crawling game. But it was only out for 3 years, and it never seemed to get the attention it deserved, although people who've discovered it since absolutely love it. So it's kind of beloved to a small core group of gamers, I'd say, and it's very rare it's on eBay or anywhere, because people who've got it generally don't want to sell it because it's too good. So I was very interested to see they were bringing out this new version, the Silver Tower. The original game came with a huge amount of miniatures. Spiders, bats, goblins, orcs, Skaven, all sorts. This one now, it's more themed, and it's in a chaos is it Siege or Slanesh? Siege, I think. Tower, and you've got to get to the end guy and beat him. And the monster charts are much smaller. And if we're going to carry on with this and do more themed sets, that's absolutely fine. I can live with that, because it would be good to not have to diversify from what I'm doing anyway with my Warhammer Fantasy and Sigmar armies, which is mostly chaos. So as well as this being the game I've been waiting for years and years and years, it also has a fair amount of figures in that I'm definitely going to have a use for. So without further ado, let's open it up and see what we have. I'm going to leave that like that for the moment. My table is absolutely full of stuff at the moment, but I wanted to get this review done, or this unboxing done, so I can get on with the fun of making it. So let's push that back a little bit and see what we have. Well, we have lots of nice coloured dice. I understand that there is a set of 4 dice for each player, so you have your own coloured dice which you put on your character sheet, and then you can spend them to do particular actions, which is very much something that they've taken from Euro games and the like. There's a modern, and Ameritrash they call it as well, sort of the Fantasy Flight games. So I think what's happened is because they licensed out to Fantasy Flight their games, and of course Fantasy Flight know how to make great games, Games Workshop have kind of realised, hang on, we were a games company, not a model company. And to which I say, why can't you be both? Although they do bring stuff out too often, I'm very pleased to see that they've had a specialist gaming division created. So we can expect the return of several classic games as well as some new ones. We've had a few already. I've had a look on this channel at the Horus Heresy one. I have the Execution Force, which came out before that. And is it Death Watch? Death Angel? Death Watch, I think, a friend of mine has. And we'll be doing something with that soon, as well as that game that came out recently with the 2 Titans. But we're promised Blood Bowl and Necromunda and more time and all the rest of it, so it's all good stuff. So anyway, back to this. We've got some very nice cards here, beautiful art as you'd expect. These are obviously how you decide how the dungeon is going to appear to you. Single-sided. So that's kind of like the dungeon deck as it was, or some name like that. In the original game, we've got a big bag of aces, and the small cards. What are these? Eye of Fate. I'm going to say, oh, it says so here, treasure cards. We like treasure. The biggest thing for me about Warhammer Quest, as well as it being just a fun game, was how you could keep your character and carry on from adventure to adventure. And although it doesn't exactly have that in this yet, I would be very, very surprised if in time they don't make it so that you can have an epic campaign. And it kind of did what pen and paper RPGs do for me, but in a more fun way. So again, beautiful art on the back. Oh, we've got two types, blue and purple. Don't know the significance of that, but we'll find that out when I do a proper review later. And so here we have some figures on this very weird big sprue here. Let's just tip the camera down a little bit so we can see better. There's the Sigmarine, Stormcast, whatever you want to call him. And that, I believe, is an Ogryn of some kind. Oh, in fact, I think that might be the other half of him. Some big thing. And, yes, you know, I really should have looked and seen who these are. But I was too excited. I've been trying not to look at the magazines and things. The figures are very, very nicely sculpted. I understand you get 6 in here, but rules for a further 4. And those 4 are coming out next week in a pack for £35 for approximately £80 worth of figures. So that's very nice, although unfortunately I already have one of them. So I will get it, but I won't necessarily get it soon. Oh, we've got a little Griffhound. Rather fond of the Griffhounds. This must be the warrior priest. He has his big hammer. Yeah, that's very cool. I've seen that figure painted up and he's very, very nice. So we've got another one of these sprues here for 4 like blister pack sized ones. More heroes. And again, all very, very nice quality. I will do a proper video on this when I've built everything. I may even get round to painting some of it, you never know. But, a friend of mine has bought this also. He bought it from the shop. I pre-ordered mine from Wayland Games, so mine was cheaper, but I had to wait an extra 2 days. But £20-something difference, I couldn't really ignore that. So he's going to start at one end of the instructions for building all these models, and I'm going to start the other. And hopefully by Saturday, when we're going to try and play this, between us we'll have enough of it done. As you can see, we've got a lot of very, very nice miniatures here. Particularly like that they've put the blue and the pink horrors and these little familiars. Particularly fond of the walking book. It's very cool. And these little flamey chaps. Can't remember what they're called, but we'll find out soon. It's all very good. So we've got 2 large sprues of monsters. There we go. I mean, all the monsters in the original one were basically one piece plus a shield. But I reckon you must have had over 100 figures in it if you include the giant rats and spiders and bats and things. It's hard to say. So anyway, here's the box. Again, very nice art. Can I get it open? Have they sealed it too tight? Oh, I'm so disorganised today. Come on. Ah, a bit of dead air today. Not on form. But anyhow, here we go. Finally. I've got a little advert for the app, which is quite a nice thing. You can have your character sheet on there. I believe you're going to be able to pay for extra heroes, and I get the impression they're actually going to be producing more and more rules, similar to what they did in the journal years ago. And what was the other one? Battle something. They did a specific little magazine for Warhammer Quest for a while. Have to dig them out and find out. But more heroes and more uses for characters I already have. It's got to be a good thing, so I will be downloading that and seeing how we go. And there's some of the other characters you can play as. All of which I have, I think. So that's pretty good. Excellent. Right, here's the instructions. They've gone back to a black and white sort of computer generated pictures. And I generally get an okay with these instructions. It's been the same as a lot of games recently. So what are those little guys, little flamey things called? Let's see if I can find them. So we've got Chaos Familiars, Death Runners, got Scutlings. Where are you, little fiery people? That's strange. Can't see them. Maybe because they're just one piece, they're not listed on here. Oh no, there they are. Brimstone Horrors. Little dancing flame creatures who remind me very strongly of some of the monsters from the Dragon Quest series of games. Adventure book, do not read until instructed. That's because it's got secrets that become apparent as you play the game. And the rulebook itself, here we go, guidebook, whatever you want to call it. A little bit scratched where it's been next to the miniatures. But I've got to pull the camera back a little bit for this. The artwork, as always, is stunning. Full colour pictures. Oh, here we go. Here's the figures. You get with it. Really nice selection. I particularly like this Ogrin Thaumaturge here. The Gaunt Summoner's very good as well. He was quite an expensive figure. He was £20-something on his own. Not the same model, but another one of the same type of thing. So that's very, very nice. And the instructions seem to be nice and clear. I've been quite impressed with our instruction books recently. They used to be a bit of a slog to get through, but these days they're quite easily understood even. Oh, and there we go. We've got a little section on each of the heroes, little background information. I like that picture. All bursting through a warp or something. Gaunt Summoner. Familiars, also all the rules for what happens when you encounter these monsters and what they can do. And it's kind of the game plays you in a way, as well as you control your characters, but what the opponents do is sort of predetermined, but they kind of follow a script of sorts, because we've got this behaviour table here where you roll to see what they do, which I think is a little bit more interesting than the old way, which was that you attacked if you could with the monsters, and you always went for whoever was nearest to you, so you could plan your strategy around that to keep your tough guys closest and have your magic users and healers at the back. And here we have the character cards, and again they've sealed them very, very tight, so I shall have to wrestle this. Hang on, come on, open up. I have to use my teeth. Okay, so I've really got to learn editing so I can skip all these bits. I will get to that. There's always so much happening, I haven't found the time, but I'm nearly there. And here are, finally, the character sheets. We've got the Knight Questor, who's a Sigmarine. We've got Dark Oath Chieftain, who's some sort of barbarian. Mistweaver Sire, obviously an elf. What are they called now? Alephs or something. Tenebrael Shard, looks like a dark elf kind of thing. Not sure about him. Excelsior War Priest, fan of Stanley perhaps, and he's obviously a a battle priest, as they used to be called, and a fire slayer doomseeker, who's what they used to call troll slayers. But for some reason they've changed a lot of their names recently. I don't know why. And on the back we've got nice photos of them painted up, looking all magnificent. So those are nice. One of the pre-order things you could get from the shop itself was that you get a Chaos Priest, which is a figure I actually already had, and another one of these play sheets, which is sort of all holographic, similar to when you have like Panini and other sticker albums and things. You used to have what I used to call shiny ones. That was sort of prismatic and silver and all nice. The one of the character sheets is a bit like that, which is all well and good. But I didn't want to pay that much extra for a figure I already had, just because he had a shiny sheet which I can easily print out. There. So I'm having to use my teeth again here. Yeah, next time I do one of these unboxings, I'm actually going to take all the cellophane off everything first. It'll be a lot easier. Right, here we go, board. So, we've got some very nice board sections here. And a rondel. And some of this is double-sided, some of it isn't. There's some of the tokens there. Let's put that back. More rooms. These sort of triangular sections, which I believe go on the roundel in some way, but I'll find that out when I read the rules. So the art, as always, is very, very good. Mostly double-sided, so you've got more possibilities for your dungeon. They're doing a character pack next week, but I hope that in time they'll do expansions like they used to do. I had like was it Catacombs of Terror, which was an undead themed one, and Lair of the Orc Lord, which of course was orcs. And it'd be nice if they did that again with some more figures and extra board sections and treasures to find. So here we go, it's all very, very nice. And I've waited a lot of years for this to come out. I just hope it plays as nicely as it used to. With the spending of the dice on the character sheet, I can tell straight away it's going to be quite different. But that's it. Not my most concise of videos, with me battling with packaging and stumbling over words, but never mind, it's because I'm excited and I want to play Warhammer Quest. So I'm going to go away now, and I'm going to build all this up and hopefully play it very, very soon. And I'll do a full game review as soon as I can, and probably a playthrough video at some point as well. So as usual, subscribe and like if you like. There'll be a lot more board games, card games, war games, toys, collectibles, everything. It's all coming. Have a look at what else I've done. I cover a lot of stuff. So hopefully I will see you again. Bye bye.